Hey guys, Mark here. I hope you are well. In today's video, I'm going to demonstrate a covering knot very similar to the monkey's fist knot. It is similar in look to a monkey's fist knot, it shares pretty much the same function, and it is very easy to tie. As such, I think it is an excellent substitute or alternative to the monkey's fist. So here on the table I have two knots. The one on the right is the traditional monkey's fist knot. It is a 6-sided knot. So it has 6 of these sides. The one on the left is the knot that we're going to tie today. It is also a covering knot. It is basically a 3-part 4-bite Turk's head, and it has 8 sides. Now the advantage to tying this knot is that it is very easy to tie flat. As such, we can tie it very fast, plus it has a bit of a different, more exotic look to the traditional monkey's fist. So sometimes when you want to mix things up, you may want to choose this knot. This knot, just like the monkey's fist knot, can be tied with a various number of passes. I'm going to be using 3 passes in my knot, but you can easily add more depending on the object that you're covering. I'm going to be covering a marble about 5/8 of an inch in diameter. A larger object, for example, a larger marble or ball bearing, is going to require more passes. More passes are easily added, and you're going to see how in the tying process. To tie my knot, I'm going to take a piece of cord. I'm going to first make a loop by twisting my cord towards myself, which creates a loop. I'm going to make a second loop exactly the same way and place it over my first loop, like this. Then, using my working hand, I'm going to pass under the standing hand, like this. Then, using my working hand, all I do is weave through these 4 strands. So, over, under, over, and under. Finally, using my working hand, I pass alongside my standing hand, so over, under, and this completes a single pass of my knot. So a 3-part 4-bite Turk's head. We now continue by doubling up and tripling up the knot by taking our working hand and chasing or following the standing hand all through the knot. For example, at this point I came to the standing end again, effectively doubling up the knot. Now you can add any number of passes depending mostly on the size of the core you're going to be using. The larger the core, the more passes you're going to need. So to continue, all you would do is again follow the previous pass all through the knot until you come to the standing end again, and that would triple up the knot. Now at some point you're going to reach the required number of passes for your covering knot. As I've mentioned, I only need 3. So I chased my standing end 2 times to get 3 passes. You can see that my working end came right alongside the standing end to finish the 3rd pass. I'm now going to pick up my core and simply place it inside of my flat mat, then envelop my core using my passes, and then I begin tightening up. Tightening is very simple. I start at the standing end, working through the slack, through the entire knot and out the working end. So that's all you need to do to tighten up this knot. I usually do this gradually to get a nice looking covering knot. You also need to make sure that your strands stay neatly lined up. So after a single round of tightening, my core, so the marble, is hidden from sight. Now usually I'm going to need to do 2, maybe 3 tightenings. Now, if your other end is running a bit short, what you can do is start at the other end. So this time, to make my standing end a bit longer, I'm going to start at the working end. Again, working it through and out the standing end. It doesn't really matter where you start. Usually I start at the side that is longer and work my slack into the shorter end. And this time, as you can see, I have worked in my slack into the standing end just to make it more of an equal length to the working end. Now you may need to do several more tightenings to get the look for your knot that you would like. So guys, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Not all that hard, right? Well, that's the point. You don't need a mandrel, you don't need any specialty tool to tie a covering knot in a few minutes. So this is the advantage of this covering knot, so the 3-part 4-bite Turk's head tied flat. Guys, thank you very much for joining me in this video. Thank you and see ya next time.